Salutations, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, and to the ladies and gentlemen of the internet, salutations. My name is Lewis, also known as Speedy, and you find me in the car once again. Just to remind you all, this is a 1967 MGB GT, a first generation. Hang on, well, there it is, with a Webasto sunroof. And some of you may or may not recall from my previous vlog, this is my 1967 MGB GT. No, I am awake. It's still, I've had this car now since January, and it still hasn't sunk in that this is my car. It's still not sinking in. I mean, I suppose if you own something like a Mini, or I'm just looking across the road now from my driveway at cars that are parked up, something like, well, I'm seeing a white Volkswagen Golf parked up across the road from my house. And, you know, you get in something like that, you think, yeah, it's just a Volkswagen Golf. Who gives a toss who owns it and who doesn't own it? But this car, it still doesn't sink in that all the paperwork and all the documentation for this car is in my name. I have a feeling it's going to be still a good little while before it does. I hope that doesn't develop into a bruise. Anyway, but yeah, so the purpose of this video, it's not a drive along, unfortunately, because, well, I still don't have my license. I filmed that vlog, I filmed and edited it back in January, back sort of like middle of January-ish. Since then, I've sat a combined 20 hours worth of driving lessons, and my instructor has already said, despite that, despite having less than a collective day's worth of driving lessons, granted I did do about 7 hours worth of driving lessons back in 2019, he has actually said, as my driving instructor, that I am pretty much test ready, that I can pretty much just walk into a test centre and sit my practical at any old time. However, I've sat my Sorry, I thought I hit my mic. I've sat my theory now 4 times at 2 different test centres for the driver's theory here in the UK. And all 4 times I've failed. Now, this isn't because I'm inept, contrary to the popular belief of a couple of people at least 12 years ago. It's not because I'm inept. I do know what it is that I'm talking about with regards to, like, you know, everything that's brought up in the theory. It's more a case of whenever I've walked in and whenever I've revised, regardless of how hard I've revised, I feel like the DVSA keep taking the proverbial goalposts and they do this with them. I keep feeling like the DVSA are moving the proverbial goalposts. And I mean, you know, I even ran it through Google, much to my surprise, it did actually come up as a Google autofill search result. Is the driving theory test rigged? So I'm not the only one who thinks I'm being dicked about, which is, you know, solidarity in numbers. Anyways, the point of this vlog, as I say, it isn't a drive along, but I promise there will be one coming up. This is sort of an update video. I know, Lewis doing an update video? No! What? But yeah, it is an update video. Shocking. Yeah, so a couple of updates that I want to discuss, if I may. First off, I want to try and talk about so far what is wrong with my car. So there's that, and there are a number of things, unfortunately, that I'm quickly figuring out are wrong with this car. Maybe it's because of its age. Maybe it's because I'm half the car's age and I don't really know what I'm doing. That might be a contributing factor. Yeah. So there's that. What the other half of the update is, I will actually tell all after I've discussed what's amiss with my car. Okay, so things that aren't working with my car. The radio doesn't work, which is probably for the best because this is an old AM unit, which means all I'd get through that lovely period speaker mesh grill is a load of static. The speedometer, and hang on a minute, let me see if I can... Nope. Fine. The speedometer and the tachometer, this bit here with the numbers on it, that no longer works. But I have found a workaway for at least the speedo gauge proper, which is called an app. What else is there? Oh yeah, the wind deflector for the Webasto sunroof. I've got one, but I haven't fitted it because when I ordered it from the MG Owners Club spare parts division, they didn't give me anything to use with these anchor points. There's one here, and then one on the opposite side of the roof, and they gave me nothing to put in those anchor points, which completely baffles me. What else? Oh yeah, the lights. Pull this out once, that's your side lights. You pull it out twice, that's your dipped. And then with your high beam, you can either stamp on that pedal down there next to the clutch, that silver button thing, or you can just pull back on the indicator stalk. The dips don't work because the filament is blown in both of the sealed headlamp units. This car's been through, as a result, 2 sealed beam sets, which means, because it's the filament blowing for the dipped beam, and it's only the dipped beam that have gone as well, that means that, there's either a short circuit somewhere in the wiring loom, and I've seen the fuse box in this car, it is a rat's nest, or there's something ever so slightly grounding out on the chassis. I don't know what to look for, because I know nothing when it comes to electrical engineering. Literally nothing. The square root of bugger all. Another problem that's with the car. It lives next to that ugly thing. Boo, hiss, boo, etc. What else is there? Oh yeah. This little lever here doesn't have its locking pin on it for the quarter light. I have tried to get the securing pin out, which is in there somewhere, but it won't budge, so there's that. The carpet needs relaying, because I mean, seriously, what the hell is that around the transmission tunnel? What the hell is that? The council could do a better job with a knife and fork. The other thing then, and this is the big one. This is the big one. I apologise if you're having your dinner, but birds keep thinking it absolutely hysterical to shit on the car. Like, everywhere. I've washed this car, god damn it. I've washed this car, and they just went, no, up yours. Do you want to hear it running? I think you will deserve to hear it running. Right, it's a slightly different day because the last time I tried filming this bit of the video, the audio got corrupted. Here's hoping it'll work this time. You'll also notice as well that my mum's car isn't on the driveway. But I still owe you all hearing this car cranking over and idling and what have you. Trust me, this thing is as sweet as a nut. Let's do it. Okay. Right. Clutch in, transmission in neutral. Phone is still rolling. Okay. Right. 2, 3 on the throttle. Here we go. smell that lead additive. Another problem with the car, and you might already be able to see it on the tailgate, is not the bird muck that I've previously pointed out, but the L plates. They do ruin the look of the car, I'm not going to lie. So there's the front L plate. I should have closed a bit better. And there's the front L plate on the bonnet. Yeah. Oh yeah, another thing that's wrong as well. This bit on the chrome bumper, it's not coming out, even with polish, it's not coming out quite as well as the rest of the front bumper or the overriders, which is annoying. There are the headlights, by the way, and as I say, it's the filaments for the dipped beam that keep blowing. So as I say, something's either shorting or I'm doing something wrong. Put it this way, it is most certainly a case. Why is it not letting me zoom back out to 0.5 now? What's going on here? Nope, let's zoom in. I don't know why it's not letting me zoom back out, but whatever. But, yeah. There she is. There's my girl. So, in conclusion, that is everything that is wrong with the car. As you all heard, she cranks over first time. She needs a little bit of persuading every once in a while. But, on a button. Literally on a button. I cannot fault it. How can you fault a car? I'm going to POV you being manhandled. How can you fault a car that just cranks over first time? Answer, you can't, regardless of its age. And let's be honest, the fact that this car cranks over first time to spite its age is fantastic, if I'm to be totally honest. I think she's running a little better now because I've put some more lead additive in the tank. But, yeah, I love this thing, man. I think when the day comes, I'm going to be unbelievably hard-pressed to part with this car. I'm going to be very, very hard-pressed, even if I could just, even if I can only just literally see over the steering wheel. The steering wheel on this thing is massive. In fact, hold on. There we are. You know how, like, surfer bros do the sort of, yeah, bro, laugh thing? I've just done that now on the wheel. It takes up both my hands. Jesus, people used to drive like this without power steering. People in the 60s were built differently, man. Anyways, so that's that bit of this update video. Now for the other bit of the update video. I'm retiring. I've given this a lot of thought. I'm going to be retiring from YouTube. It's been nearly 15 years since I uploaded my first video. 15 years. And despite that, I still haven't broken the 100 subscriber ceiling. This hasn't been an easy decision for me, but it is a decision that I've withdrawn, and I hope that I can move on to sort of like more successful pastures and what have you. This isn't the last video on the channel, I'd like to point out. I'm looking to do a series of 5 more videos between now. Well, I'm looking to hopefully film them between now and September. And also have them all edited between now and September, and then week by week upload them until the 15th anniversary of the channel's first upload. Yeah, as I say, this hasn't been an easy conclusion for me to withdraw, but it's a conclusion that I've withdrawn. It's a conclusion that I'm going to go with. So, yeah. And on that terrible, disappointment for one person, I'm sure, it is time to bring this upload to its end. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen in this video, please do entertain liking the video, subscribing to the channel, sharing the video around to a couple of your like-minded friends, especially if they're also into cars that are double their age. Shut up. So yeah, that's pretty much it, really. The car's knackered. I'm knackered. Let's all go down the pub. Until the next video, take care of yourselves, and I will see you all soon.